Hey guys, welcome back to CRO Typology. We have a really special guest today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hmm. Yeah, my name is Giancarlo, otherwise known as G. I met Sierra at the Prosopa Insights Discord. We were um and I got to know that she's also into the Enneagram besides face reading, which is the typology of Prosopa Insights. And not long ago, Prosopa Insights made a video on Goatis, and we both took interest in him because he's quite a character, and especially and we figured we could also type him in the Enneagram.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. So we started talking Enneagram stuff like right away as soon as I joined. I don't remember who we were trying to type, but yeah, so G, as I know him, is very knowledgeable about the Enneagram and you've studied in like different schools. So we have slightly different perspectives, but like ultimately we agreed on his typing. So I found this him like trolling, and
Mhm.
this is not exactly funny. So I'm just gonna play this quick.
I'm so full of energy. Let's go get some whole grains and vegetables. Hey, I'm going to the store. You coming? Not today, man. Do you want me to get you something? Yeah, thanks, man. Get me some juice, bread, avocados, and some of the just egg. Don't forget the just egg. What's up, man? Are you coming with me to the store? I don't feel like it, man. Can you get me lots of peanut butter, some seitan and tofurkey? You don't want any grains or vegetables? No. Hey bro, are you coming to the store? Get me some Beyond Burgers, Beyond Sausage, cashew cream, vegan mozzarella, and some of those plant milks. Are you alright, man? Are you taking your pills? I mean, supplements? I'm taking over 50 supplements right now, man. Are you okay, man? Should I get you something? Stay.
Okay.
Hey man, I'm going to the store.
Okay, it was actually kind of funny. Surprisingly, like that was my introduction to him trolling vegans. I'm a horrible person and I think it's funny. Um, but the thing that really stands out to me knowing this guy's history is that like if there was an super ego type, this would be the guy. It's like the most triggering human being in the world.
Yeah,
And he's got
I
an
was.
in go ahead, G.
Yeah, so I wanted to add, especially regarding the sort of like anti-superego comment, because what I've noticed is that eight in the tri-type, bisexuals with eight in the tri-type, for instance, tend to get a kick or can really invest it in triggering libtards, for instance. Uh, yeah. Whereas it seems like Goatis is just so calm, he sounds really like out of touch almost with all the reactance and like rage of the crowd. Like he's just talking, and it's like he's not intentionally trying to like I'm going to trigger libtards. He's just being himself, and people get triggered. I feel like that's just more like how he naturally is.
Yeah,
So
yeah, agreed. Like he's just kind of being himself, whether he's like intentionally pissing people off or not. But he is like very monotone and robotic, which is somewhat unusual for someone who we think is a core reactive type. We do think he's a core eight wing seven, but I think that his very like calm and flat and even robotic affect can be explained by his head fix. And we were thinking you
yeah, I
can
was thinking, it's five wing seats. Even though the wings on the five hits are pretty balanced, it's solidly five. And I think it's five wing seats just because of his focus on social narratives and uh, categories, norms, as opposed to being more subjective. It seems to me that he really cares about objectivity. And uh, I would say five wing six, it tends to be more monotone than five wing four. Five wing four can be a little bit like epic or poetic in how they like tell or explain their theories, a little bit more magical, whereas Goethe seems more kind of like he's going really, really, really for to be logical, almost to the point where he doesn't seem human as much.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like 5 and 6 can come across as like more of like a dry, alien, robotic, like he very much does. And 5-4 is getting more into that heart space, which is going to be more concerned with like you were kind of saying, creative self-expression. And that doesn't really seem to be a big driver for him. I feel like it's more leaning into this sixth space of like, you guys are wrong. Vegans are
Yeah.
vegans are dumb. Kind of like that little bit of like know-it-all energy that can be in the 5-6 space. But because like I certainly don't think you could justify him being double reactive like a Kyle like an 863 because he is just so monotone and calm, like very consistently. But speaking of that, like there are patterns though in his life where that the reactivity of 8 has really come out. Um like starting from when he was very young. Do you want to mention the
Yeah, so
Columbine
basically,
thing?
yeah. So when he was young, he was on multiple forums, and he also, well, before that, when I went on the timeline, when he was in high school, he tried to stab his classmates, and he's gotten in trouble. Like he's gotten banned from multiple forums for also just his statements and harassment of different users. It seems to me that even though he's not a person that's easy to rattle, to like get rattled up or like set off, he's just really like he just pushes and might maybe when he was younger accidentally or he just doesn't seem very sensitive to how other people's boundaries or other people's emotional needs or sensitivities. Like in that sense, it seems to me that he's just has this know-it-all complex and he just will push it. And when people might just not perhaps want to continue the debates, he might even send threats to people or threaten them.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, it seems like he's got a lot of eight-ish themes of control in his life, especially with his romantic partners. Like one incident that was really well documented was his relationship with, I believe her name was Luna, or she went by Luna. And
yeah.
she got with him, she had his child, he was really abusive to her, and even kind of like used her to garner sympathy from his followers to raise funds. At one point, he claimed she was attacked by a migrant worker, and she had most likely just been beaten up by him. Um, but so she left him, and he like ordered, I think, first of all, an acid attack on her, and she was injured in that. And then later on, her house was actually burnt down, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Wait, I don't remember exactly. Did Goatis like what I remember is that he did try to hire somebody to. It wasn't her, right? It was another of his girlfriends, or was it the same?
Yeah, yeah, I think it was Catherine, like
Or
the next girl he was
Catherine. Oh,
involved. Yeah. Yeah, they like figured out where she was staying and
yeah.
yeah, and it was like basically an attempt on her life twice, just for leaving him. Um, so yeah, it's like the reactivity, like, because he is a gut type, and eights can appear very calm when they feel like they're in control. But I think like that reactivity would get triggered and agitated once they feel like this person, this romantic partner that is my possession is leaving. And how dare they? And like, I must destroy them. So, like, that's the pattern I see. And then, like, there's been other women that thought he was misunderstood or whatever and got with him. And then once the abuse and everything starts, they try to get away and he starts manipulating them, doing things like cutting off all their hair to make them less attractive so they won't leave. Like, very much someone who is obviously a taker, an abuser, a manipulator, like a super ego nightmare, like I was saying earlier. because we feel like he probably has almost no superego influence in his type. So we were thinking, core 8-wing 7 with a secondary 5-wing 6, and we decided on most likely heart is 3-wing 4 for him, because that would be getting more into just darker territory. Like 4 is a relatively dark fix, as is 5 and 8. But we don't think he's in 8-5-4. But he's kind of close. But he does have a lot of the 3 hustle thing going on, the grifter. Like this is obviously like a low health 4 behavior where this guy doesn't want to
Number
work.
three, yeah,
He wants to
low
be
health.
supported. Yeah, he wants to be supported by his followers, and he has no qualms with exploiting and using people. Do you have any thoughts, G?
Yeah, sorry, yeah. So the low health forest, yeah. The thing about him is like well, the first thing about like him being so possessive and aggressive with his partners, even though online he comes across as really calm, really low neuroticism, almost like a robot, almost inhumanly calm. It's that sexual aid is the passion is, lost possession, and also that they declare themselves to be against the norms. It can be similar to 4, but he's just like SX8 and SX4 can be similar in the way in which they are not defined by the norms, but he's all about control, about asserting dominance in his domain. And he does have that grifter tendency, which is, I would say, more 3. I think he has changed his image multiple times to, and doesn't seem to have like how can I say, um, I've never seen him show actual vulnerability, like as in effectively. I feel like he might have like the only signs of it that might see was when he was even saying that he will commit suicide. I don't know if I was like, but he doesn't seem to me like the kind of person that will actively get like desperate, like effectively speaking. I think he will just probably be saying really mean or weird, uh, like intense things and just keep a flat tone. I feel like that's the vibe I get from him.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't think this guy, especially as an 8, he's an 8 meme. He's not showing any real vulnerability. He's only using a form of weaponized vulnerability in order to control and manipulate people. But also like 4 in the heart is a withdrawn,
yeah,
fix. And I don't think this guy, I mean, 5 is withdrawn as well, but he's had an internet presence for over a decade, and he puts out a lot of content. So I definitely wouldn't see him having like 2 withdrawn fixes. And the guy does seem to pretty shamelessly double assertive, I think makes sense for him with his history and pattern. So yeah, so 853, it's kind of like the cold-blooded like serial killer tri-type. It's like the Patrick Bateman from American Psycho thing. And like it is rare. Like he is definitely a rare specimen.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with is that he has this cold-blooded. Like, I mean, if the serial killer title can be a little misleading because there are other factors like psychopathy or sociopathy, but he does that sort of extremely cold, almost like inhuman. I mean, the thing is, he still has this
Reptilian.
kind of reptilian. I mean, he comes across a little bit more like robust, almost like a caveman, as opposed to like let's say someone like King Wilber, because he's an 8, and so, but his demeanor, the way he talks, everything just seems very reptilian. Just
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We can check out, we won't watch this whole video, but we can check out some. I thought the "You Are in Hell"
yeah,
that was funny. And like, and that's like the 8 is very primal, and like we're all part of like an animal kingdom, and modern society and safety and sanitation is like the enemy. and he's
Yeah,
gonna help you bust out of your prison because he's so healthy.
he is very healthy, the
Well,
healthiest human on earth.
Very, very healthy.
as a slave, and that's because you were born into slavery. It's the only life that you know. It seems normal. Everybody around you lives the same kind of life. How could it be any different? I absolutely understand it. I grew up the same way. It's just that I always felt as if something isn't quite right. Deep down, you know exactly what I'm talking about. 99% of people today grow up as slaves.
So even I think the framing there, he always felt like something wasn't quite right. And to me, it's very hexad because if you are a core attachment, you're figuring out how to adapt in the system. And he's recognizing the system. And in that like eight rejection way, he's like, this whole system is like fucked, and I'm not going to willingly participate in it.
Yeah, and also the frame is also a little bit. I mean, we could talk about his stack. There's more disagreement on that end. I think that sort of I'm looking for the missing piece. I'm not satisfied by ordinary life. Tends to be a theme of SxSp or the sexual instinct a little bit more. Even though there is a lot of self-pressing, all the things that he does,
Hmm.
like the health YouTuber stuff or the sun staring. We can talk about that.
The
Like
sun
yeah,
staring. Yeah, we can't
yeah.
forget that.
For some, this feeling is very weak. These people will most likely never snap out of it, whereas for others, it's pretty strong. These people want to look for the so-called truth. This feeling is your
And I think that's reactivity there because like the whole purpose of reactivity is to get to the truth. And with especially with eights, like the truth is ugly and you have to be strong and bold to like stare at the ugly truth. And this is like all this guy wants to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's truly something dark, uncomfortable. I mean, don't want to derail too much, but as a reactive type myself, for instance, me and psychotherapy don't go along because to me healing sounds like a fairy tale or a scam, and so I think when people talk about it, almost like people are inherently good versus people are inherently evil could be like, for instance, a difference between like I want to say 7, 1, 2, whereas, 8, 5, and 4 can have that strike of, you know, humans inherently might not be, or that the truth about who we are is, you know, you need to be tough and minded
Right. Right.
to
Like
live it.
the truth is ugly and like platitudes and anything soft and fluffy is like a lie and maybe like a crutch for the weak. Like he's even framing people kind of like there's like the weak NPCs who aren't bold eights like him, and then there's the rare type like him that's fighting the system.
Yeah, that's a very like eight like way of seeing the world, especially with SS and 5. He has more awareness because self-preservation aids, for instance, like they might not see it that way. Like for instance, someone like Trump, there is more self-awareness going on, but not in a very, as in he's aware of like what he's looking for in life, that juice or substance he's looking for, but he's ignoring like the sensitivities and more fluffy, soft like aspects of other people, almost because he feels contempt towards
Yeah.
those aspects of people. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good points.
natural
Mhm.
self that wants to break out of the cage, and the cage is made out of these beliefs and ideas which were implanted in your brain, especially when you were a child. Some people live in a cage with very thick bars, so to speak. They feel too weak to ever break out of this cage, whereas other people live in a cage with a lot thinner bars. They can already see the light. They feel like they can almost bend the bars, but they don't feel strong enough yet. They are afraid to take the last step. Do you want to be lied to every day of your life? Do you want to be told what you are allowed to do? As a natural being, do you want to be told by other people what's good for you?
And so, like, what I'm getting from that is like this double assertive energy from 8 and 3. Like, you have like assertive is really kind of simply just you're going after what you want. Like, you're gonna do what you have to do to like get what you want out of life. So like obviously this would be his mindset.
Yeah, I agree. He's very much like saying, uh, that most people are weak, which is like I'm very eight stance, but it's like some people aren't as strong as I am. It's a kind of the more image of like an eight with a three fits will see himself as this like kind of like if there is a hierarchy of strength or power that they are at the top.
Mm.
He sees
Yeah.
definitely his himself at the top.
Yeah, he's the top, and that three fix has him on YouTube trying to show other people how to get out of their
Mhm.
prisons too.
Mhm.
Even though only you
Mhm.
can know what's good for you. After this video, I'm gonna make sure that you take the last step. I'm getting you out of that fucking cage. I'm gonna make sure of that. You were born with a natural program, so to speak, and this program tells you exactly what you are supposed to do in this life. Because of this program, you know exactly what's good for you, what's bad for you. You know about your deepest desires and needs. This can never be taken away from you. It's impossible. But what can be done, and this has been done to you, is that they.
So I see like there's almost like this framing with your natural primal instincts being like this sacred thing, almost like this guiding light, which I think in this case could be points for SxSp because there's like this rejection of the social norms completely. Like anything, any like social attachment expectations are chipping away at who I am in this really primal, like my basic instincts. And I don't want to have to adapt, modify my behavior or whatever. I just want to be the most primal expression of who I am.
Yes, I think yeah, that's another point for SSSP that that almost like like for ability, not like a counter social like I refuse to be told what to do. It's more like you can just domesticate him. Like SS8, especially SSSP is just like, and even he has a whole like worldview that basically is a stance against being domesticable. Like his whole life is like that perhaps I think that social instinct doesn't even compute that to him. Like I think humans are social animals. I think it's part of human nature. He like raw primal three social instincts are the ultimate truth. I think is something that he very much preaches.
Mhm. Yeah, and I mean he lives it. And also
Yep.
like yeah, I mean going back to the whole sun gazing thing, I believe this was before he got into eating raw meat and just raw dead animals in general. He
Hmm.
was he was obsessed with staring at the sun and he would sit outside and just stare at the sun for 8 hours and like became consumed with it to the point that he stopped eating. He believed like he could get all of his sustenance from the sun, which is like, such an extreme belief to have, but he was really doing it and he dropped down to like under 100 pounds and had to be hospitalized. And while he was hospitalized, he had a bit of an epiphany because he realized he didn't want to eat the crappy hospital food and he got the desire to attack and bite and eat the flesh of the hospital staff. So I think that like planted his seed, like obviously I can't engage in cannibalism without getting arrested. Ultimate prison, right? So I'm gonna eat raw meat and find a new lease on life by disturbing people in like a very, I feel like SxSp way, showing up at like vegan rallies and he's eating dead squirrels and like roadkill and like pig's head. So it's like it's almost like anti-social instinct when I think about
Yeah.
it. It's like a big F you to society, like I'm gonna be repulsive and disgust you, but also like there's that inspirational thing coming from three where he is making content like this to try to show other people to become as evolved as he is. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
wanted to add that there's like a very strong positive self-regard, even though like he might even like have this positive spin about, okay, I'm eating raw meat and this is the way to live, it's the way that's healthy. If people find it revolting, it's because they're brainwashed. It's because it's the programming. You know, it's because they're
yeah.
not as strong as me. There is none
Mhm.
of that negative self-regard that you see with a forfeits,
Yeah,
as in,
excellent,
no, it's
excellent point. Yeah, and also with the seven wing on
yeah.
his core eight, it would like the seven wing, it would be, like influence from the core eight, the seven wing three, that would give him so much assertive energy. So he's not spending a lot of time doubting himself. And then also five in the head center. That's also a rejection type. So he's also coming from a place of double rejection with eight and five, determined to have independent self-mastery in the head center. So it makes sense that he would be rejecting external like norms and guidelines. Like, hey, it's not healthy or normal to be mowing down on a squirrel, you know? Um, and I mean, but he just keeps at it, like in that assertive way. Like he's been hospitalized from getting food poisoning, and he's gotten very sick, but this dude is not going to back down.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder if he's aware or if the thought that he might be wrong about the raw meat diet might even cross his mind at all. But the explanation he gave of the hospital, actually, I didn't even catch that detail. I think maybe he had this kind of like a wake up call or or moment where just the hospital food maybe was just revolting him, and he had this hunger come to him and saying, I'm going to eat the hospital like staff, or maybe that's where, and that's why he sees that as the truth because it felt real to him. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah, yeah. And maybe also there was like an awareness, speaking of like three-ish reinvention of oneself, an awareness of like maybe the sun gazing thing wasn't working out. He's in a hospital, he's emaciated. So this is going to be his new extreme thing. And that like SX, immersive, combustible, especially with SO blind, um, it's very like contained and combustive. And I mean, this guy's life is very much that way.
Yeah, lots of dramatic episodes in his life, even if his demeanor and like it's like the 853 and the SxSp are almost contradictory, but his life pattern is very SxSp.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I watched a long video on his life that was wildly entertaining. Like, I rarely watch a 90-minute long video without like losing interest, but like this guy's lore is insane. Like
Yeah, I know, right?
this guy's like the real deal, like the real Patrick Bateman in the flesh, but like he's got like a little bit of like a T, like if T-800 from the Terminator was merged with the T-1000 or something, like very cold and robotic and almost inhuman. With that, like the five and three fixed, and looks like we got 10 minutes left. Oh no.
Well, yeah. Um, yeah, we can continue watching the video. I think we have 9 minutes. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
9 minutes
They can
left.
Mm.
suppress it. And they can suppress it so severely, especially in your childhood, that you almost forget what you're actually supposed to do in this life. And this started with your parents. There were no bad intentions behind what they did to you. They grew up the same way as you. They were brainwashed by their parents. Then, of course, your teachers did even more damage, again, mostly without any bad intentions. They were also brainwashed. And then the media did the rest. And of course, the media did actually have a conscious intentions behind what they did to you, unlike your parents and teachers. And this is how you were reprogrammed. As I said, your natural program is still there, it's intact, but you can hardly even connect to it anymore. And what controls your life now, and even worse than that, you believe that it is really your life, is this new man-made program. That's what tells you what you're supposed to do in your life, what's good for you, what's bad for you, what you need to do to be happy and healthy. This is hell. There are people who actually say that we are in hell and that paradise comes afterwards, or that life is a test. These are not only religious people. A lot of people feel incredibly miserable. And that is actually 99% of people on Earth.
And I mean, I think he actually has some good points, and that's probably why he continues to have an audience at this point after everything. That, a lot of people are miserable and ground down by, modern expectations and like the standard American diet and whatever. But most people aren't going to take it to this type of extreme. Maybe we can see like the his little end, how he's gonna end his little pep talk,
Yeah.
little wisdom nuggets.
You should take a hammer and break it yourself. So
What are we breaking, Goatis?
if you do, your whole life will fall apart. And that's a good thing. Actually, you should take a
That's the most SX statement ever. Your whole life should fall apart. It's a good
Yeah,
thing.
they burn it all to the ground, destroy it
Yeah,
all.
burn it.
hammer
Yeah.
and break it yourself, so to speak. I could tell you that the way you see colors will change, that your vision will literally become brighter, that the way you respond to people will change, that your whole outlook on life will change, that it will literally change your whole life. But what's the point? I can tell you that you will feel euphoric the way you have never felt like before. But you are in hell right now. You're watching me saying that, but you don't comprehend what I'm saying. That's okay. It's not even possible because you feel a different way. You're in a different biochemical state. You cannot know the way I feel. It is impossible for you to know. That's why the only thing that you can do is look at me, try to sense the way I feel, and then you will have to do it yourself. And you can do it. I believe in you.
I believe in you.
I
Okay,
believe in
okay.
you.
That for me drove home that he has a three fix. I believe in you.
Yeah. I believe in you. We can do this together. Kind of also a little bit of the positivity of the seven wing. Definitely nothing nine. There's 09 in this guy. Zero super ego besides the six wing. Like zero seed. I mean 09 and 02. For like I think it's like
Hmm.
be a good person. Like like have gratitude for what other people give you. None of that like too bullshit or the like or
Yeah, there's none of like the soft kindness of 9 and 2. It's like you need to free yourself because you're a slave and destroy your life if you have to. Just set it all on fire. Stop
yeah.
being a slave, baby. What is
Yeah, and with the thing is the five fits and the lack of social might also make him not as. Oh, I want to speak of his older pictures as well because you can see the five more clearly in there
right
than
here?
now.
Yeah, like he's got
Yeah,
like this like really like it's kind of like the Northern European metal type of thing. Like
yeah,
like got he's and I guess like he originally started as like some sort of video game streamer. But he was like making waves and pushing boundaries. Like eights are always pushing. They're always pushing some like he's pushing boundaries constantly. Um, yeah, I guess it was RuneScape that he started with. And
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and I was gonna say like and with the three wing four fix, like he very much is the product. It's less of like, come on, little buddy, we got this, of like three wing two. And he's like, if you want to be an ascended master like me, you have to do what I do, and it's all super harsh, and I have tons of disdain for you. I thought it was interesting though, there was this controversy with him getting hair plugs
Yeah,
because he had this crazy high hairline. I don't know if that was,
yeah. His
yeah.
hairline. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's like, I mean, I don't know if you would call that a vulnerability so much as like vanity, but I don't think he ever admitted it. He was like supposedly raising money to get custody back of his like the baby that he had with that woman that he was trying to murder. Um, he was telling his followers, I need money to get my baby back, but he needs money to get his hairline back. So.
Yeah, it's probably people were commenting on his YouTube channel. He's balding. He's balding. The real Romy died. I mean, it's just genetics at one point, and then I don't. Maybe he had to. Maybe it put his credibility or power under threat at one point. I don't know how that specifically happened, but he's like well, I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna lie to people again. Just tell them I'm trying to get my child back. You know.
Yeah, right, right. It's that like kind of scammy grifter
Yeah.
thing that can happen with three. And again, like the only super ego influence he would have would be like the six wing on his five fix. So,
Yeah. It's just counterphobics. It's the only influence I think go against the grain, even though it's a mild overlay.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, he's going for the shock value. He's going for repeatedly violating social norms. Like, I don't think he would even know how to live any differently. He would probably view that as weak. And I had pulled up some quotes. And like kind of like ironically, I don't really disagree with a lot of what he's saying. I think it's just like his delivery style is so jarring, because of who he is. But do you have any closing thoughts?
well, I think that there is actually a lot of truth, and there is a motivational, inspirational aspect to really strong inspirational aspect to how he says things. Because it's just very difficult to live the life that truly feels fulfilling at a more like spiritual, psychological level, and that's why people are drawn to him a lot, even though the factual information that he's drawn to is really, really obtuse and off center.
Very
Like he's the
extreme.
opposite of trust the facts. He's the opposite of trust the science.
Plus the science, yeah. Yeah, he's very much like F the science. But yeah, we're gonna run out of time here. So I guess we should
Mhm.
wrap it up. And we've got Goatis as an eight wing seven, five wing six, three wing four, SxSp. And G, thank you for joining us, and your insights were very helpful.
Yeah, appreciate that. I appreciate to collaborate with you. Yes, it was a really fun typing video to make.
It was, and hopefully we can do it again. Who are we going to do next, G?